The Pentagon is expected to start discharging transgender service members after the Supreme Court ruled the Trump administration can move forward with its ban for now. The Trump administration argues transgender service members present problems for unit cohesion and lethality. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says it's about restoring the warrior ethos to the military.
Again, humans more important than hardware. Everything starts and ends with warriors from training to the battlefield. We are leaving wokeness and weakness behind. No more pronouns, no more climate change obsession, no more emergency vaccine mandates, no more dudes in dresses. We're done with that.
Two federal judges found little evidence to support claims transgender troops negatively affect military readiness. One judge says the government misquoted and cherry-picked studies. Now the Supreme Court's lifting a nationwide injunction, at least temporarily. Senior Washington reporter Devin Dwyer is here with more. So, Devin, the Pentagon estimates more than 4,200 active service members have a diagnosis of gender dysphoria, but advocacy groups say the total number of transgender troops is much higher. So what's the expected impact of this ruling?
Yeah, upwards of 15,000 service members could be transgender, according to advocates. Diane, that's a significant number in our force. And as a result of this decision yesterday by the Supreme Court, the Trump administration can move forward with removing those people from the military, despite their years of service. President Trump, on his first day in office, signed an executive order directing the Pentagon to discharge anyone who has gender dysphoria or a history of gender dysphoria. That's the psychological disconnect, the dissonance between the gender born at birth and the gender with people who they identify with. And in this case, now the Pentagon saying that those conditions constitute a liability for the military, contrary to the fact that many of these people have served in combat for years. In fact, one of the plaintiffs in this case challenging the ban, Diane, Emily Schilling, Navy commander, has been flying fighter missions, combat missions for 19 years and is decorated by the military. She now could be removed from the military after $20 million has been spent on her training. So the impact of this will be significant. We should say, though, that the Pentagon, Diane, has not yet spelled out how it will begin this process, how quickly it will move, but the Supreme Court's decision yesterday did clear the way for it to move forward.
Devin, the court didn't give a lot of detail for this ruling. So what went into it?
Yeah, and that's right. It is not a surprise. There was not an opinion with this decision. 3 liberal justices did dissent. But what the court was weighing in on here was President Trump's emergency request to move forward with this policy while the litigation continues. This was, they were contesting an injunction issued by a lower court judge. So while they can move forward, the case is still active. Those district court rulings struck down this policy, found it unfairly discriminatory. It is now in federal appeals court, so those judges will take a look at it, and it's very likely, Diane, that this matter will be back at the U.S. Supreme Court in the next year or two on the merits, asking the justices to take a look at whether this disclusionary policy is discrimination, whether it has evidence to support it. But the justices, at least at this stage, showing broad deference to the president and how he runs the military as commander-in-chief, Diane.
All right, Senior Washington reporter Devin Dwyer, thank you.